Hello my fellow music nerds, my name is Sam and this is You Know Nothing, a series where I discuss the history, characteristics and notable names of different genres and sub-genres. And today I'm telling you why you know nothing about G-Funk. So G-Funk is short for gangster funk and it is a sub-genre of gangster rap and was popular during the mid-80s to early 90s. This is a mid-tempo genre and is known for its melodic synths, deep bass, and exceptional male or female hooks. Now these singers, they're actually singers. They're not the pop stars that you see on the charts. These man's career is to sing. They can do their damn thing. And you will hear that in a lot of G-Funk songs. One of my favorite ones is trying to play, but they can't play. We be moving through the neighborhood, yeah, with that funk sound. We've been throwing down. Now G-Funk used Parliament/Funkadelic samples, which was why it was called gangster funk. Parliament and Funkadelic music was basically funk music that was a little bit more progressive than traditional funk. So it had a lot of synths. It kind of, I would say, was in between psychedelic rock and general soul funk, normal funk music. It sits somewhere inside there. Don't get it twisted. Funkadelic songs were very popular back in their day. Funkadelic would be more Jimi Hendrix or Earth, Wind and Fire, those kind of artists. What made G-Funk, which was a West Coast style of rap, so more from LA side, different to East Coast rap, which is more like New York rap, you know, that kind of hardcore thing, was that they used fewer and more unaltered samples. So instead of chopping up the samples really small and trying to reconfigure them, they just sometimes used a whole Funkadelic track or whole 8 to 12 bars of a song and just looped it. Like, this was a very raw, kind of stripped back style of music, and to be honest, clearly it worked. For me, I love G-Funk. G-Funk, I would say, is one of my favorite genres. It gave the samples a bit more space to breathe in the track. Pioneering of the genre is credited to a few people. So one of the most famous ones will be Dr. Dre, which I'm sure most people know. There's also DJ Quick, Above the Law, and Warren G. But I also want to dash Snoop Doog in there because Warren G and Snoop Doog did grow up together. We'll get more into that later on in the video. Even though G-Funk originated in LA, it actually drew a lot of inspiration from Bay Area music called mob music, which was popular, I'd say, in about the mid-80s. This was pioneered by Oakland rappers such as Too Short and E40. Too Short's lazy and drill-heavy delivery with his raps was a massive inspiration to later G-Funk rappers such as Snoop Dogg. In this section, I would like to discuss Above the Law. Now, Above the Law was the group that I mentioned earlier who are credited with pioneering of this genre. Now, this group comes from Pomona, California, and they were founded in 1989 during the post-NWA explosion that was going on in the industry. This group consisted of Code 187, Laylaw, KMG the Illustrator, Gomac, and DJ Total K-OSS. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Please, somebody let me know how to say it down in the comments if you do know. Fun fact about them, Dre actually produced 2 of their songs from their debut album. G-Funk was actually given its name by Laylaw. However, the term would not be coined until America's Most Wanted said it in a track called Call It What You Want, which was Above the Law's song featuring underground rappers at the time, Tupac and Money B.
Prove the clock, I let up off the coppers get shot. They shouldn't try to stop the money. Tupac, a pack of punch and pump the trunk. I'm bumping G-Funk, but you can call it what you want.
Dre dropped The Chronic in 1992, which is universally credited as the first G-Funk album. And this was a massive album for Dre because it was his first album after officially splitting from NWA, and it was also his first album under his own record label, Death Row Records, which he was owner with Suge Knight, which I'm sure a lot of people know the name of. This album was even certified triple platinum with 5.7 million copies sold. However, Above the Law claimed that they had a G-Funk album ready to drop in 91, a year before Dre, but issues with Ruthless Records at the time, which I think was owned by Eazy-E at the time, there was just a lot of issues going on with it and they couldn't release until 1993. Officially, they didn't get the top spot. Above the Law even claimed that Ain't No Fun and California Love, which are two massive G-Funk songs, were produced by them, but they were not credited by Dre. The next artist I would like to talk about is Snoop Dogg, the one and only Uncle Snoop, Snoop Lion, however you know him, we know who he is. Snoop Dogg was in a group with his family and friends called 213, which was named after their area code in Long Beach. This group consisted of Nate Dogg, which I'm pretty sure was his nephew, Lil Half Dead, his cousin, and Warren G, which was their friend. Now, these men used to make mixtapes in their garage, in their house, wherever they really did it. I don't know, they're underground rappers. You find, when there's a will, there's a way. These men were SoundCloud rappers before SoundCloud rappers. I wasn't there personally, so I'm not sure how they was selling these tapes or getting these tapes out, but eventually Dre heard one of their mixtapes and really liked Snoop's verse over an En Vogue song called Hold On. It was probably like an instrumental or something. They asked Snoop to come in and I guess they got to talking. He showed them what he had and the rest is history. Now look at Snoop Dogg and Dre and Warren G and all them, man. On a serious note, Dre had some banging artists under him. He had Snoop, he had Eminem, he had 50 Cent, he was the producer for NWA. I wouldn't say they were under him, but even still, Dre has a roster. And those are just the most popular ones. We don't know how many other people. I will say that Snoop and Warren G were actually with Code 187 before Snoop went off with Dre. Now, Dre gave Snoop a couple verses on The Chronic, on a couple of his songs on The Chronic, and after The Chronic blew up, he dropped his own album, which was called Doggystyle. Snoop was praised for his realism and his distinctive and unique flow towards his rap. And this album earned a lot of recognition with music critics and became critically acclaimed and is noted as one of the most important albums for hip-hop / rap in general as a genre. So many artists take inspiration from this album and from this genre in general, but this album specifically, the amount of references I hear to this album on a regular basis from artists, even to this day, is flipping ridiculous. You know what? I might even make a video one day about your favorite artists. Ooh. Now I would like to talk about Warren G. You might have noticed that I didn't mention him being picked up by Dre because he wasn't. He was overlooked and was picked up by an East Coast record label called Def Jam, which made him the first G-Funk star of the East Coast. What blew Warren G into pretty much superstardom was his album Regulate, which was dropped in 1994. And his single Regulate featuring Nate Dogg is just a banger, let's be real. And that did numbers as well, so that all helped with Warren G's album release and his career in general. And lastly, I would just like to mention some women in this genre because I feel like that's not spoken about enough. Now, the final artist I'm going to talk about in this video today is Da Brat. Now, Da Brat is a rapper. Da Brat actually won MTV Yo's talent show for rappers. I never watched it, so I can't remember what it's called. After winning that contest or that show on MTV, she met Criss Cross, who are a very well-known duo in the rap world. And after meeting Criss Cross, she got linked up with Jermaine Dupri. And Jermaine Dupri was a producer. I'm not sure if he owned or if he was just under So Def Records, but that's what Da Brat ended up getting signed to. And she dropped her album Funkdafied in 1994, which has a good couple bangers in there as well. Now, before I end this video, I will say that there is other female rappers in the G-Funk scene, including the likes of Rage. You'll hear her in the G-Funk intro. She has her own song, Afro Past the album. Yeah. Fun fact, the Brat was actually the first female rapper to ever go platinum. So before you had your Cardis and your Megs, you had the Brat. Influence in today's music, I would say it's had a massive influence in general in today's music. I don't know for sure if these artists had direct influence from these people, but I would say I hear similarities in people like Travis Scott's music or Don Toliver. It's kind of like, it's not as funky as G-Funk, but it definitely has those synths and that deep bass, which was a main characteristic in G-Funk music. I will also say other West Coast rappers definitely got inspiration, people like Kendrick or Nipsey. And I also found out in my research that there's like a gospel G-Funk kind of choir. I'm not sure what they're called, I'll be real, but I heard that there's like a gospel choir that does G-Funk type of songs. So if you're into that and you think you enjoy it, definitely go search it up. I mean, you never know. Did you learn something new today? Is there anything I missed out? What's your favorite G-Funk song? Plug it to me down below. Maybe I'll like it, add it to my playlist. Who knows? I will actually leave links to my Spotify playlist in the description. I always get to say. There's links to my playlist in the description. So if you want to hear a little snippet of this music, but you're not quite sure which ones you will like, I've already sorted that for ya. Just click it right there. Now, if you like this video today and you enjoyed this content, please hit that like button for me. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified whenever I drop. Stick around, I will be here for a while and hopefully I'll be talking about things that you are interested in. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you in the next one. And I am